Well, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Well, today we're going to jump in and look at the final episode, part 3 of the new Department 56 Fright Ave Neibolt House. I'm going to call this one done. I'm pretty pleased with the way it's turned out. And so I'm going to show you everything that was done since the last time you saw a video, which was just a couple of days ago. So with that, let's jump in and take a look. Okay, so here it is, get it, and it's all done. This is the final display. This is ready to display in our home. I'm pretty pleased, again, with the way it turned out. Some things could have been a little bit better, but I mean, every build, looking at it, could be a little bit better in one area or another, and I'm satisfied enough with this one. I'll tell you the parts that I really like and some of the parts that maybe I wish I'd have done a little bit differently, but all in all, I'm very pleased with it. And so let's jump in and take a little bit closer look. Let's start at the street first. The street looks really good. The water, on the other hand, is leaving a little bit to be desired. And somebody told me about that too. They said, hey, the product that you're using it takes a little bit to dry, and sometimes it didn't really dry in a clear fashion. This one did. As we zoom in a little bit closer, it did leave some little and that's my fault. You know, I tried to put in, stippling it with a brush and probably was responsible for the thicker pieces of it. It is clear. I mean, it did dry a little bit clear. And I honestly, the more I look at it over time, the more pleased I am with it. I guess I'm okay with it. It almost looks like rushing water or some waves, hitting, maybe some debris in the road, and it's helping to carry the SS Georgie down the street towards the sewer. So I think that could have been done a little bit better, but, for what it is, I think we get the idea of it. The sewer grate and everything, and again, we still have to do the reviews off of Mini Creation Studios from Perry. Sent me a whole bunch of stuff to review. I've still got to get to that. And so that's why I'm trying to wrap this up so we can move on to some other things. But I love that piece. I love that accent there. I love the way that the storm drain looks in the road and the way the sewer opening looks in the sidewalk. Just very pleased with that. I'm going to start incorporating that as much as I can. The tree itself is okay. I didn't spend a lot of time on it, to be honest with you guys. It's a smaller tree than the other build that I did. Same concept. It's the small gauge wire wrapped around itself to kind of resemble this tree. If you watch the movie, you'll see this in front of the house on Neibolt Street. It's a very odd looking tree. And so I've been trying to incorporate that. It's okay. It looks, not as good as the other one I built. We're going to take a look at side by side here in a moment. But it is smaller, and I think it turned out just fine. I am pleased with the fence and the way the fence turned out. I know somebody made a comment they weren't really digging the way the sidewalk met the pathway into Neibolt House, but I kind of like it. I like it a lot. I mean, it could be a little bit thicker in this area here. Maybe that's what you're talking about. And I agree with that aspect of it. But I do like the dirt and just the debris that's gathered in between the stones. I think it adds a good flavor. Almost matches the leaves going up on the stairway. So I'm okay with that. Put the sunflowers in the yard. Okay, so before we get to the yard, or at least into the yard, I did some of the static grass. And I'll tell you guys, I should have did it on a test piece first. You would think I would know all this stuff by now, but I didn't. I just started right here, and I wasn't even using the thing right. I thought you just push the button and it turned on. Turns out the one I got, you got to push and hold the button. The directions are completely useless. And so I finally saw the light come on every time I push and held the button. So it started to really stand up and look good. I like the way it looks. I probably went a little overboard with it. But I like the color. It's more of a dead grass look. So you can kind of see that spread around. It took away really, I put it on pretty thick. I probably should have done some splotches of it instead, looking back. So that's one of the things I said, is looking back, some of the things I do different. I like some of the sand showing in an old rundown yard, and this is just a lot of dead grass, which is fine. It suits this build just fine. So not too aggravated with it, but could have been a little bit better. Then there's the coconut fibers, which were very difficult to do. I forgot how hard they were, especially at this size. And we'll zoom in on one sitting right there behind those dead flowers. So they're in there, but I didn't go crazy with them. And then I put in some sunflowers, as I showed you yesterday, and then some dead or dried type flowers in different varieties. You can kind of see two there, one on the right and one on the left, that I think adds a lot of characteristic and flavor to this build, and I really like the way that comes through. You can see the light. Now, if you come up way up here, you can see how bright the light is. And so I hid that from view by hot gluing a rock out of our yard. So when you're coming down to like street level, looking at this house as you're kind of walking by it or looking at it, you can see that the light is masked by that rock, and it throws a really good hue up on Pennywise there. And so I really do like that. And then, so all in all, I'm okay, pleased with the yard. I think it does suit this. It is totally different from the other yard that we're going to look at. And then I do like the trees with the balloons in them, and I really like the way the sign turned out. Dirtied up a little bit more on some comments that you guys gave me online, and I agree. I think it needed to be dirtied up a little more. I didn't want to go overboard with it, and but I did it a little bit more. But I think it looks good. I think it adds some character to the sign. It makes it look like it belongs on Neibolt Street. And so there's that. So all in all, I'm very pleased with the way this little vignette turned out. I'm going to be honest with you. I love the size of it. I really do. This is a very small, very quaint little vignette. And as we slide all the way back, you can kind of see the whole thing there. This only takes up about 18 and just under 18 and a half inches in length, and just barely 12 inches in depth. So you could put this just about anywhere in your home and have it fit right in and not take up a whole lot of space. Again, a very small vignette, but I think for the size, it's very well decorated. And I think, just putting the house out, if you want to put the house out around some spooky, kind of dead looking moss, or sit it on maybe the Stephen King book, there's 100 ways to display this. And I think they're all good, especially with some different lighting techniques. But for me, I like to try to make it look similar to the movie and similar to what we witnessed on the movie and read in the book. And so I think this does it justice enough. Again, I'm pleased with it. Now, I know a lot of you had said, hey, I like your original build better. Hey, I want to see your original build. Is there any way you could kind of show both of them side by side? And so I thought that would be a good idea. Now, keep in mind, the build I'm about to show you is older. When I really first started out crafting back in 2020, 2021, maybe, it's a very, I say very old. It's not very old, but it's older. I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I wired the batteries up to 9 volts, wired the lights up to run on 9-volt battery packs, separate for each light, which is crazy. I don't have 9-volt batteries, so it's not even going to be lit up, but you'll be able to see it side by side. So this is the new Department 56 Fright Ave Neibolt House. And then this is the inspiration that created it all. Now, I'm not going to lie, I love this piece. I envision never separating myself from this piece. I absolutely love it. It all started with Department 56 Pennywise, and his SS Georgie. So you get this piece and this piece in a little kit, right? A little Department 56 accessory. And based on that, I decided that I wanted to create the house on Neibolt Street. Everybody always asks me about Georgie. Georgie is a Lemax piece called Maiden Voyage. It's a little boy in a raincoat. It doesn't look exactly like it does now. It's a much longer piece. It's got an upside down umbrella, a different kind of boat, and a little puddle. And I essentially saw the little boy in the rain jacket bent over like he's getting ready to pick up a boat. And I said, Georgie, I gotta use that as Georgie. And so I then cut it with a Dremel tool, repainted it to match Georgie on it. And now you affectionately see him sitting down trying to pick up the boat off of the Department 56 piece, the SS Georgie. And so the tree here is a little bit different. It's a little more detailed. It's a lot more detailed, quite honestly. It's a little more reminiscent of the actual tree in the movie, based on the same concept that I built this one off of, same exact concept. And so if we can kind of zoom kind of back maybe a little bit, trying to gain a little more real estate here, you can kind of see both. I didn't slide them side by side, although I probably should have, but the size difference is massive, right? This is a fairly large piece over here. And again, it's all made from foam core, from popsicle sticks, from soda straws, from the coconut fibers, the dried flowers, the same sunflowers, the same type of fence, just a little bit taller. I made the sidewalk, in this case, a little taller to accommodate the SS Georgie to where it would fit in the sidewalk, but also fit down into the road. That's all cut out and placed in there. So again, I'm very pleased with this one. There is no walkway because I was just starting this. And so it's just sand to get from the sidewalk into the Neibolt House. There's a lot of errors in this house, truth be told. Clearly, I mean, this was made from, looking at pictures and doing all that. Don't get me wrong, I love it. I'm very fond of it. It's very nostalgic to me. It was one of the first builds. It was the first build of anything like this I ever tried. So I'm pretty pleased with it. I think it's more painted like the original Neibolt House than this one is. It's a slightly different color, but I love this one. I love what they've done with it. Even though it's very eerie house. I love the way that it lights up. But truth be told, this one is a little more like the original house in the movie as far as color goes. So and then this is just a pin. I found this pin on Etsy. I thought I'd get it, and I didn't really know what else to do with it. So I just stuck it down in there. It's Dairy Public Works. It says you will float too. I just kind of stuck it on there, just kind of sitting there. But that is the original, made by yours truly. And again, I love it. Don't get me wrong. And I equally love this one. A much smaller size, much more quaint, and takes up a lot less of a footprint. And I think it looks just as good, if not better, from certainly from a manufacturing standpoint. This is a beautifully made house. I love it. I love the size of it, and I love the storyline on the back of it. So you've asked for it. There's the side-by-side view. This one is in the books as being done. And I hope you guys like it as much as I like it. I don't know exactly where this is going to go in the home this year, but rest assured we'll try to place it somewhere. So there you have it. Well, there's a much closer look at Department 56's new Fright Avenue Neibolt House and my rendition of trying to make it look as much as realistic as possible as compared to the movie set. You also saw my original Neibolt House, which was built a few years back in hopes that Department 56 would eventually get around to building one that we could, display. And lo and behold, this year they've done that. So I'm incredibly excited. I think every one of you know, and if you don't, Stephen King is an amazing author. I love most of his books. It is by far my favorite. Anything Pennywise, I don't know. It's just very nostalgic, very cool for me. And so I collect that stuff and wanted to try to get this build knocked out quickly. So hopefully you've enjoyed kind of going through this series with me. I certainly have enjoyed building it. Hopefully you've learned something. I know I certainly have. I do on every single one. And so if you've liked this series, you've liked this video, make sure you click the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. It helps the channel to grow. It helps me out personally. And if you got folks that know, that would like this stuff, please share it with them. Let them partake in what it is we're doing on a weekly basis. So with that, we're going to end this one. Please take care of yourselves. God bless each and every one of you, and we'll talk to you again real soon.